Carolyn Dube here. Oh, what's the play for today? Well, today I'm sharing with you a way that I put a secret message inside the art that I made for somebody. Now, this is a poured canvas, and it looks just like a poured canvas, right? Except that if you can look at the reflection on there, there are actually words written on there. There's something under there. There's a message for the person this is meant for. I started out by using dimensional fabric paint to write the message that I wanted. Here I wrote, "I am proud of you." And I hope my daughter's not watching this video or else she's got a sneak peek of what her gift's gonna look like. But what this does is creates a raised surface so that your message is under there, but it's gonna become very, very subtle once we've got the paint poured on top of it. It's very important to let it dry completely before you go on to the next step, where we're going to get some paint and pouring medium all over this. I'm going to squirt a bunch of layers on here, but you'll notice that each layer is not fully covering the canvas. This will allow me to get a lot of layers on here, but not create a complete swamp of paint on the canvas. So what's in those squirt bottles? Well, in there I've got acrylic paint mixed with Floetrol. And if you're wondering what kind of ratio to use, how to mix it up, all those details about getting started with paint pouring, from setting things up to the drying racks, all that kind of stuff, I've got it all written out for you in a downloadable PDF. There's a link down below and you can get that. It's completely free so that you can see the information that you need to have to get started with paint pouring. And never fear at this point if you've got enough paint or not, because, well, this is an extremely forgiving process, and you'll see in just a moment. So take a palette knife and then give the paint a swish. When you're doing that, you're gonna start to see the colors move around. Cells are gonna start to appear. And if you're wondering, did I use enough paint? Maybe it wasn't enough, or you want a different color here and there. Guess what? All you're gonna do is add it in there. At the top and the bottom, I've got a bunch of bare canvas, so I'm gonna add just some more paint there. And that's the thing about this, it's extremely forgiving. You don't have to have an exact anything. You just get to have some fun, squirting paint around, moving it around, and seeing what colors pop up when you do that. Right now, that secret message is completely hidden. All this paint's there, you can't see any of the texture from those words whatsoever. Now, the words are going to be revealed as this paint and pouring medium dries. Because I used Floetrol, that means as it dries, it's going to condense or pull flat down to the canvas. And so that means it's going to be flatter than those raised words that I had on there. So then the texture of those will show, but that won't happen until it is completely dry. This secret message technique that I'm showing you here, this does work best with Floetrol. I've sped up the camera here so you can see how the cells appear as the canvas is doing its dripping here into the box. Once it's done dripping, then you want to move it over to a drying rack. And again, all the details for how to do that, I've gotten that guide that I mentioned earlier, and there's a link down below for you so you can have all that information to help you when you're paint pouring. The reason why I chose to put "I am proud of you" as a secret message here in this canvas is that way my daughter can have it on her wall and not, well, get that sort of blushing, embarrassing feeling that they get when their mom gushes over them. It's kind of like a little secret between her and I. But every time she goes past that on the wall, she's going to be reminded of how proud I am of her. Now, there's one last thing that I'm going to do to this, and it's on the back with just a regular old pencil. And back here, I'm going to write a letter to her, letting her know just how proud I am of her, all those kinds of things. So if you're ever looking for a heartfelt gift to give somebody, I highly recommend putting a secret message inside of paint pouring. Well, thanks so much for joining me for today's play. If you've been enjoying this video, I'd so appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more of my videos, hit that subscribe button, and that way you'll know as soon as I've got a new one out. And of course, you can find more information about this over on the website at acolorfuljourney.com. Thanks so much for letting me be a part of your colorful journey.